Antitrust situation. Pac-12, Mountain West. Lawyers from both sides met with a federal judge yesterday. The Pac-12 is of the opinion the Mountain West Conference is involved in an antitrust violation. This all goes back to the exit fees when the Aztecs, Boise State, the 5 schools decided to go to the Pac-12. They had to pay an exit fee of $18 million per school. Those schools agreed to that. But then the Mountain West tacked on what they called a poaching fee, an additional $10 million poaching fee per school from the Pac-12 if they took these schools. And the Pac-12 says that's an antitrust violation. On top of that now, they're also having a great debate and a lot of issues about the fact the Mountain West is withholding the NCAA units. That's NCAA tournament money and bowl money that schools get. They're keeping that from San Diego State and the other schools that are going to the Pac-12. 5 years worth of NCAA units, San Diego State will not get access to take with them.
They earned it.
They earned it, and they say that's an antitrust violation too. So they tried to go to mediation, could not find any common ground. This thing is going to trial. So we'll keep an eye on that story. A couple of other notes. Big Ten Conference. Boy, a lot of reaction to NCAA transfer portal. Ryan Day, at his press conference this week, just lost his mind. The Ohio State coach, he just went public and said, I'm dead set against this 10-day transfer portal window in January. He says, it's not fair to the great programs that are getting ready to play in the playoffs. He said, last year I had 9 kids who opted into the transfer portal the week we were preparing to go to the championship game. So Ryan Day is of the opinion that this is being handled wrong again. Speaking of the Big Ten, Danny O'Neal, Aztec former quarterback, went to Wisconsin, had to play because of injury. He's going to start again this weekend. Now, Danny O'Neal in 2 games at Wisconsin, because they lost their starting quarterback, Billy Edwards, with a severe leg injury. Danny O'Neal's 35 for 46. 403 yards, nice. 3 touchdowns. You know where he's going to try to throw touchdown passes this week? Tuscaloosa.
No, good luck.
Wisconsin plays at Alabama. So we'll keep an eye and kind of chart that. One other note. This hasn't got much recognition. This spins back to the Mountain West Conference, spins back to the Pac-12. Guess who's holding inner circle dialogue about leaving their conference and wants to be a basketball member of the Pac-12? St. Mary's.
Interesting.
St. Mary's Gales have gone to the Pac-12 and talked about, can we have a type of deal that Gonzaga had? They would want to leave the WCC, become another member of the Pac-12, basketball only like Gonzaga. The only difference to me is, as good as Randy Bennett has been and the job he's done there, this doesn't carry any clout in terms of network TV, et cetera. What's the great value to add St. Mary's? St. Mary's would, I would tend to think, if they stayed in the West Coast Conference, would be the elite basketball program once Gonzaga separates itself. Why would St. Mary's go to the Pac-12? Why would the Pac-12 want St. Mary's?
Well, there's no other team in the Bay Area in the Pac-12 any longer, right?
Right.
So that's got to be part of the reason. But I was looking forward to seeing Randy Bennett go up against his old foe, UCSD,
Yep.
and that's not going to work out, you know?
So that's where we are there. That's all things.
Can I come on these other stories here?
That's right. You're gonna give me your spin on antitrust exemption, be like your spin on capitalism. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, for the Pac-12 and the Mountain West, originally when you brought up this story, it was antitrust because they had to pay one amount of money for the exit fee, and then there was another fee on top of that, and it sounded like double dipping. But I think my understanding is these are separate deals. The first one was the exit fee, you know, when the Mountain West teams are going to the Pac-12, but the second one was the scheduling agreement to have Mountain West teams play Oregon State, Washington State during this, 2-3 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think these are separate deals. I think they're separate contracts. So I think they should stand on their own. Don't you think?
But Washington State, Oregon State paid $1 million apiece for the scheduling addendum that the Mountain West helped them out with. And then the Mountain West said, a byproduct of this is you can't take any more schools. It's $10 million per school on top of the exit fee. And Pac-12 says, no, you can't impose that after the fact.
Yeah, well, everything's negotiable in the world of business. And by the way, I don't believe anything Ryan Day says about the transfer portal, because the transfer portal is only a net win for him. He gets the players. He doesn't give up players, or at least not the ones he doesn't give up great talent. He gives up the guys he doesn't really have a spot for on the team. So I don't know. They need to revise the rule. I like the idea of having a single window of time, but it does make sense that it should be after
the championship game.
Right. Just kind of like Major League Baseball free agency.
I agree with you. Okay. A couple other quick topics.